Hey everybody, welcome back to my new series, Buck Chuckets and Buck Chuckets and Piglins. This is episode 2. Now there is a bit of a jump between episode 1 and episode 2. I do apologize. I lost some of the footage I wasn't recording when I should have been. So I do apologize for that. But really, the only thing I did in between episodes was setting up my base a little bit, and then I started working over here on what's going to be a carnival. And so, but in order to build the carnival, I have to start by doing some terraforming, flattening the land so I can place the blocks where the carnival is going to go. So that's what I'm going to start with right here. Just kind of, I'm using these blackstone, or not blackstone, what is it? Cobbled deep slate tile bricks or something like that. I use the stone cutter to make them. And they're just going to be sort of the outline of where the carnival's going to go. And then I'll start building the carnival around on the inside of this. And this is also going to be sort of the track where I'm going to lay the track for the roller coaster, which unfortunately I lost that footage, so you'll see the finished roller coaster, but you won't see me actually building the roller coaster. And I do sincerely apologize for that. What I'm doing is I'm recording the footage on my PS4 using the share feature, and then uploading it to YouTube as unlisted videos, and then downloading them to my laptop so I can edit the footage. When I was on my way back to my my base, I noticed this little ruined portal, and since I have a path that connects my base to spawn, I decided I would, just make sure that I don't lose my path. And then I decided to, explore the ruined portal and see if I could find the treasure. The little chest. And eventually I do find the treasure, but it wasn't anything spectacular. I think where is it? It's around here somewhere. Oh. Well, anyways. And then when I get back to my village, I realize I gotta do some construction. So I gotta clear some... there wasn't anything in the chest, that's why I cut that footage. It was just like, generic crap. Nothing special. Anyways, I decided to cut down tear down some of the villager buildings that were getting in the way, so that I can build new buildings with better materials, because I'm building a spooky themed village. Kind of like a haunted village. And right now, at the early game, it doesn't look very spooky, so I still need to do a lot of prep work. So I decided to go ahead and start by getting some lava ready, so I can make some obsidian and have that for in the future. So I'm going to place some lava buckets in this little hole here, and then I'll fill it with water later and turn it into obsidian, and then when I'm ready, I'll pick up the obsidian. And I decided, you know what, this little villager farm, it's in the way. So let's just clear that out real quick. Because I need all of this to be flat so that I can build my stuff. And then I go around, and I've been collecting bone meal. And I got some, mossy cobblestone. And I've been bone mealing the mossy... not mossy cobblestone. God damn it, what is it called? Pale moss. And so I've been bone mealing the pale moss. And I'm building my new little torch tower thingies out of this cobbled deep slate brick stuff. Then I'm going to go ahead and collect all of the mossy carpets and seeds and kind of flatten this out a little bit so it looks nice. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't bone meal too much around the sheep pen, because they need grass. They cannot eat the moss. because they need grass to regrow their wool. So that is eventually going to become a problem, but I'll deal with it later. Right now, I'm just going to try to continue flattening this out and bone mealing the moss as I go. The reason why I'm collecting the seeds and the moss carpet is because I can turn it into bone meal, and then I can get more moss. And now I decided, alright, it's time to get the obsidian. And so I get my diamond pickaxe, and I start going after the obsidian. This is going to take a while, so let's skip ahead a little bit. And just finish collecting the obsidian and then move on to the next thing. Obviously, collecting obsidian is one of the more time-consuming blocks in the game to get. But I needed the obsidian so I could make an enchanting table. Y'all probably thought I was going to go to the nether. Well, eventually. I am going to go to the nether, but I'm not going to rush to get to the nether. Go ahead and place some bookshelves. Now, I immediately realize I don't have enough bookshelves. So I'm going to have to get working on getting some more bookshelves. But I'm also going to need to finish cutting this useless crap that the vanilla villagers built so that I can replace it with actually good builds. And also collect some materials along the way, especially the wool comes in handy for making beds, which I need for breeding villagers. I have a little makeshift villager dirt hut over there. I just boxed them into a dirt hut so that they would stop dying because the zombies kept killing my villagers. And then I'm still flattening the area around the dirt hut because I'm going to build something over here. But I got a lot of terraforming to do before I'll be able to make that usable. I know I just passed some coal. I'll pick it up later. Right now, I just want to focus on getting this squared away. And then trading with this guy. Trying to get him to sell me bookshelves because I'm trying to focus on the enchanting room. So he was friendly enough. He was good. He gave me some bookshelves, so now I can go place them and work on my enchanting table. Eventually, I am going to set up spaces for the villagers. But I still have a lot of material gathering to do before I can do that, especially from the pale oak, because that's what I'm building most things out of. But in order to get pale oak, I'm going to need, I'm going to need sticks to trade with the Fletchers to get emeralds, but I'm also going to need mulch, essentially, to make bone meal out of. I have a little small tree gathering forest. It's just some random trees, dark oak, cherry wood, spruce, oak, and birch. But mostly just I'm using it for, like standard basic building materials, just sort of temporary stuff. And, of course, getting bone meal so that I can go around and spread my pale moss. Now, I still don't have the pale moss vines, whatever they're called. I know the Wandering Trader sells that, but we're playing with the Minecraft movie add-on, which does still spawn the standard Wandering Trader, but it also spawns the Minecraft movie Wandering Trader, and so it messes up the spawn rate of the Wandering Traders, and I just am not getting the materials from my traders that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and cut down some more villager houses to clear space for my actual builds. And of course, I'll just use all these materials, for various things. Some of this wood I'm just going to use for burning. Some of the planks and things I'll turn into sticks to trade with the Fletchers. And I have got so much cobblestone I don't even know what to do with. But I'm going to go ahead and flatten this villager house and just sort of level it, so I can make room for my future builds. And then, of course, keep trading with the librarian to get more bookshelves, because I want a full enchantment setup, so that's going to require some more bookshelves. So let's go ahead and place a few bookshelves. Get this looking nice so I can start enchanting things. And it's starting to look nice, you know, getting ready to do some enchanting. But I also still need to collect more lapis, because I don't have enough of that. So I grab my shears, and it's time to go get some more mulch to get more bone meal. Because I gotta have the bone meal, otherwise I won't be able to do the spreading of the pale moss, but also replanting the pale oak trees, which pretty much behave identically, more or less, as the dark oak tree. So you have to have a grid of 4 saplings in order to get a new tree, which is frustrating because the tree's sapling drop rate is not great. So I'll just keep spreading the pale moss because it's going to work. It's going to eventually add to the aesthetic of the village that I'm building, because I want to replace all the grass with pale moss, because it's a spooky village. It's sort of like a haunted ghost village. It'll have villagers in it. Unfortunately, I don't have any control over the texture pack or behavior pack or anything like that, so I won't be able to replace the villagers with, like, scary villagers like skeletons and, you know, vampires and witches and things. I wish I could. That would be great. But for now, this will work. And I'm going to need a lot more bone meal. So let's just keep collecting the seeds and the carpet as I go, so that I can bone meal that stuff and continue spreading. I spent a lot of time on this, collecting bone meal and spreading the mulch, spreading the moss, excuse me. So I figure it's time to cut down another villager building and do some more trading with my librarian, because I want to finish my enchanting setup. And I am going to do some, I'm going to do a lot of the chores, like the collecting the crops and the garden and stuff like that off camera between episodes, because that stuff's going to be boring, and it's going to be a lot of that stuff. And I don't want, like, whole episodes of just me gardening, because there will be times where I spend 2 or 3 hours just gardening crops, and I don't want to use all of that footage, so there's no point in wasting the hard drive space. So now what I'm gonna have to do now is collect some pale oak wood, and collect the saplings so that I can spread my forest, because I want the pale oak trees in my village, not forest, but in my village full of trees, to kind of add to the aesthetic. But I have to go back to spawn first to cut down the pale oak trees that are at spawn and then replant them, so that I have saplings. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is just, these trees are not at my base. This is spawn. And this is my my spawn base. This is where I'm doing the, the carnival. And as you can see in the footage, I've already built most of the roller coaster. Once the carnival is finished, I'll actually show it off. I don't want to show too much of the building of the carnival, because if other people are watching, other people in the realm in this series are watching my videos, I don't want them to kind of see what I'm doing until it's ready. So this is sort of a two-fold process here. I'm going to clear some slabs that I've already placed off camera, because that's boring work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little snow hut so that I can breed snowmen, so that I can collect snowballs for a future project, because I'm going to need lots of snow. And I know there is the snow biome in between spawn and my base village, but I want something more accessible to me for when I'm over here where I'm going to need the snow, so I don't have to like clutter my inventory bringing snow with me. So I'm just going to build it out of stone just to get started. It's not going to, I'm going to eventually do something with it, but I want to build the stone just to keep the snowmen, I guess they're snow golems, are they called? I don't know, I'll just call them snowmen, safe from the weather, from the elements, so they don't melt. And once I get this built, then I can come in here and I can start placing the snowmen. Snow golems? I guess they're called snow golems. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to leave the ground dirt because I'm going to replace it with snow blocks, so that the snowmen have something to walk on that will fit the aesthetic. Because I'm going to do something with this little snow hut, but not for a while, because I still got to gather some other resources. But I have to start by just placing the snow golems so that they'll make snow slabs on the or snow carpet or whatever it's called, so that I can pick it up to make snowballs, so that I can make more snow golems and get the snow blocks that I need. And so it's going to be a bit of a process. Now I started to notice that they're just bunching up right here, and I was getting frustrated because I couldn't figure out why they were all bunching up instead of walking around making the snow. And that's not going to be good for me because I need the snow. So after a few minutes of doing this, I finally got annoyed enough that I looked up on Google why they were doing this. And then I realized that I needed to fix it because they are hunting the mobs. And I realized that they're not going to stop doing that until I light up the cave under my little snow base here. But I still need the snow golems to make the snow because I'm going to need the snow blocks. So I'm going to keep collecting snow and placing golems as I go, because I still need the snow. I need lots and lots of snow. And so that's all I'm going to work on for a few minutes. Letting the snow golems walk around and place snow for me, and then pick it up behind them. And then keep making new snow golems, because I keep having to kill them, because they keep getting stuck, because they're going after the mobs under the ground. So then I decide, okay, maybe eventually I'm going to have to go underground and figure out what they're looking at, and so I can light it up. So I go into the cave and decide to start lighting it up. And at first it looks like, okay, I just got to place some torches and that'll be fine. But then I get stuck. And it's going to take me a few tries because of the water here. And I am getting stuck on the in the water thingy. And then I'm like, okay, I'm looking around and I don't see any darkness. But then I notice there are mobs still down here, so I have to go fight them. They are drowned, it looks like. So let's kill them. And they nearly kill me. Like, they gang up on me. But I'm like, okay, you know what? Not too bad, not too bad. And then so I just go back to collecting snow, because I'm going to start replacing all of the stone that I placed with snow blocks. And I know I could have just used cobblestone, since this was just a temporary hut, instead of cooking all that cobblestone into stone, but I really wanted it to look nice, and I figured stone would look better as a temporary block than cobblestone. So then I go ahead and get out my pickaxe, and gotta get my own inventory organized, sorry. But I gotta have snow, so that I can start, I gotta collect the snow first, obviously, so I can start placing the snow blocks by replacing the the stone. And then I realized these stupid snow golems keep getting in my way, but I don't want to keep killing them because I'm going to run out of jack-o'-lanterns. Well, I guess technically carved pumpkins. I don't think you make them with jack-o'-lanterns. But I got a lot of snow, and then I've already started placing the blocks. But I want to get a lot of snow at a time, because I want to have a lot of blocks to place so that I'm not just doing the same task back and forth, so that I can actually just kind of make progress. So that I'm going to go ahead and clear out some of the stone, and then place some of the snow, and then just kind of repeat that process until the whole build has been turned into snow blocks. And then this guy decides he wants to get in my way, and I have to move around him, and he's being annoying. Get out of my way. There we go. Now, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because this takes me a while. And I'm just doing the same thing, just replacing stone with snow. So, yeah, I'm going to skip ahead in a little bit. But for also, notice how the golems are still bunching up. And that's because they can detect the hostile mobs outside of the build. And I think there was a spider out there that they were getting angry at. Get out of my way. Okay, so let's go ahead and skip ahead and then finish the roof of the build, which is just going to be more snow. And then I'll be able to, after I finish this, I'll be able to move on to the next task, which is just going to be back over at my base. But I got one more thing I want to do over here before I leave, which is only going to take a couple of minutes. Let's finish placing this, and then I'm going to use the last of my resources, my snow and my carved pumpkins, to place some snow golems out here in the wilderness, just so they're just kind of walking around and adding to the aesthetic. They're probably all going to melt or get killed by the mobs, but I'll just place a few just for, just for the fun of it. No big deal. And then I'm going to swing by the tree farm at spawn real quick and get some more pale oak saplings, because I need the pale oak for my base. So I'll just cut down some trees, get the saplings, and then replant the saplings. And then any excess saplings I'll take with me. So let's just gather up the resources and then pull out my hoe so that I can get the saplings. And get a few, it looks like. And then I'll go ahead and replant them real quick and then grab some more leaves, because I'm going to need the leaves. And I'm going to head back to my base with these leaves because I'm going to use them to turn them into bone meal. So let's go ahead and finish off this, what do you call this thing? Shears. Finish off these shears, collecting some leaves. Now, I'm not collecting every leaf on the trees. I'm leaving some of them so that other people at spawn, if they want to get saplings from these trees, they can still do that and still collect the wood and replant them. But I just need to get a whole bunch of stuff to mulch. And then I'm going to head back to my base on my little path that I made. By the way, if other people in the realm are watching this video, you can follow this path back and forth between my base and spawn if you want to come see what I'm working on. That's why I built this, so I can get back quicker, so I don't get lost. Then when I get back, gotta turn all this crap into bone meal, so that I can start planting the pale oak saplings that I did get. But I'm also going to need to spread the pale moss a little bit as I go. And I grabbed some vines, so I'll just throw those there. And then let's see, what do I want to work on? I guess I need to go ahead and collect these pumpkins, so I'll do that real quick, because I can turn them into bone meal. Because right now I need a crap ton of bone meal. Now I try to collect my crops every chance that they're ready to harvest. And I rotate every other harvest. One crop harvest, I will trade with the farmer villagers to get emeralds. And then the next crop harvest, I will bone meal everything. Because that way I'm maximizing my resources. Now let's go ahead and place these saplings. And now I want to plant them on the pale moss. I don't know if that's necessary, but that's part of the aesthetic that I'm going for. Because I want it to look kind of like a haunted village. And I know that you can place bone meal on moss blocks next to stone. So I can turn all the stone into pale moss, and I don't have to dig up all this stone with my pickaxe, wasting the pickaxe's durability. But I still have to clear the space and make room for the sapling so I can get more trees. And that's pretty much going to be the last thing I work on for this episode. So just finish this up real quick. Go ahead and get ready to place the saplings. And there's a little lag, but that's okay. Let's just clear the spot. Place the saplings. Go ahead and bone meal the saplings. And now I have 2 pale oak trees. Excuse me. Thanks for watching. Please come back for the next episode.